We don't practice because someone makes us practice. We don't practice for fame or glory. We don't practice to impress anyone or make us feel better about ourselves. We certainly don't practice for money. We practice because we yearn to connect. Connect to the ancestors that built this. Connect to the modern geniuses that inspire us. Connect to our city and our scene and the listeners in the back of the room. But mostly we want to connect to that spark that lives deep within all of us. That spark that wants to be fire. We practice every day to clear a path for that spark. Let's practice together. Welcome to the Daily Guided Practice Session. Let's start with our chromatic scale, 88 beats per minute. Let's get to work. Hello. What's up, everybody? Got the sound on. My name's Adam Maness. We're practicing today. Get to your instrument. We're working on a very cool Bud Powell lick. So make sure you can hear yourself. Make sure you can hear me. Make sure I can hear me. And let me know where you're practicing from. We'll give it a few minutes as the room fills up. But yeah, we got it taken care of. So let me know where you're at. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. It is dreary. Let's do it. Where are you at in the world? Let me know where you are. Like I said, I'm in the middle of America, and there's been a minor fender bender outside of my front window here. Everybody seems to be okay. But that's just what's going on. What's going on with you? Where are you from? What's up, Juan from Oslo? What's going on, Trevor? What's up, Nicole from Indiana? What's up, Bruce from Texas? What's up, Lucas? I tried to be super slick there with my intro and ended up muting myself. This happens. What's going on, Ann from Germany? Mark from DC. Atul from Mumbai. Verbal Shark from DC as well. Bill from NYC. Paul from Massachusetts. Bautista Garcia from Argentina. What's up, everybody? Richard from Long Beach in the 80s. Like, temperature-wise? Okay, I thought you meant like Long Beach, like in the 80s. You know, Long Beach in the 80s? It's way better than it is now. Cincinnati, Patrick, what's up? Håkon from Norway. Hope I'm saying that right. Wigwam from Chichester, UK. Yeah, what's going on, Colleen? Lucas from Santiago. What's happening, everybody? We're getting to work today. Make sure you can hear yourself. Make sure you can hear me. We're going to be practicing a super cool Bud Powell lick. We're going to get it going. Let's get it going. Get my cans right. What's up, Marie from Orange, Connecticut? And Genver, also from Oslo. I've never seen that name before. That's great. Genver, perhaps? Suzanne from Charlotte. Roger from reigning in Blacksburg. Kelamu from Moscow. Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. Make sure you can hear yourself. Make sure you can hear me. Recording this live, though, and we are going to keep this up after we're done. We are working on a super cool Bud Powell lick from his tune Whale, which is a E-flat rhythm changes. We're going to do a whole A section, the first A section of Bud's solo. We're going to break it down and talk about the bebop language of it. And we wanted to offer something that goes a little bit deeper on this, as we often get asked when we do these lives. So we have today $30 off my brand new course, Bebop Enclosures for Beginners. We'll put a link here in the chat. You could check it out. You could save $30 today only from YouTube. Just click on the link here and it'll take the price right off. And it's been a really amazing couple of weeks with this course. People have been writing me nonstop, letting me know how much they dig it. I've tried to break it down, sort of the intro to getting that bebop sound in the simplest way I could. So hopefully I did. Let's see what we got. We'll just give it another couple minutes. Maybe one more minute here as we just get set. What's up, DK Sound System from Montreal? All right, let's see what we got. Let me see if I got the... Oh, yeah. You know how we do it around here. All right, let's get to it. Welcome to today's guided practice session. My name is Adam Maness. We are practicing some bebop today. We are practicing just a killer A section of an E-flat rhythm changes by the great Bud Powell. Seriously, one of the most influential pianists, just a icon of bebop, and there's so much to be learned from any Bud Powell solo. This is one of the first Bud Powell solos I think I ever transcribed, and I love this solo. And we're going to work on it today. We're going to go very slowly because we're going to do a full 8 bars of it, but there's a lot to be learned. So let's see what we got. Here is the first 8 bars of Bud Powell's solo on Whale. And before we start practicing this, let's just break down what's happening here because there's a lot going on, you know? So we start here. So first of all, it is a rhythm changes in the key of E flat, which is a little interesting, right? Usually rhythm changes are in the key of B flat. So very simple chord changes, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, and then a 2, 5 to the 4. Bud uses sort of these, what Peter Martin calls the ice cream changes. There in that second stanza, you could see just walking up the changes. Okay, so what is happening here, though? I'm going to move this just a little bit out of the way. There we go, so we could all see it. Okay, so if we start here, we start on beat 2, and really this could be that. It kind of gets washed by the cymbal a little bit, but really the key is on beat 3. That's where we have our very first bebop enclosure. I actually was just talking here as we started that I have a new course, Bebop Enclosures for Beginners, where we talk about this exact enclosure. This is what we're going to call a run-through enclosure. Our target is E flat. We start the diatonic tone above it, which is F, right? It's an E flat major or a C minor, like a C Aeolian, or sorry, a C Phrygian, excuse me. Got my Greeks mixed up there. Just an E flat major scale, really. But we have, our target is E flat, and we start the diatonic tone above it, F, and then we rock through it, right? That's why we call it a run through. We go through the target, we actually play the target, and then we go a half step below it or a diatonic tone below it. But in this case, it's both, right? And that gets us back to our target. So that first bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Maybe I should play this whole thing. Let's hear how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, and. So again, 2, 3, and. One more time. Put a click to it so you can kind of hear it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Again, 2, 3, and. Something like that. Sorry, again, traffic accident right out front of my front door here, so I might have police coming to ask me some questions here any second. Pardon the distraction, but you get the gist of it. I'll play it one more time so you can hear it. One, two, 1, 2, 3, and. Isn't that great? There's so much going on there. There's this combination of enclosures and broken seventh chords. It's really, really amazing. So let's break down again, starting from the beginning. We have our run through enclosure right there on beats 3 and 4 of the first bar. Just making sure everybody's okay out there. And then we go right into this. Right, our first 2-5-1 is super interesting, actually. Look at that in bar 2. That's really a part of an E-flat pentatonic scale, with just a little chromatic passing tone up to that D, the third of the B-flat. And then it goes down a B-flat augmented chord. Very cool. Right? An augmented triad, B-flat, D, and then that sharp 5, or that flat 6. We'll call it a sharp 5 here, even though it says G-flat. And then down to E-flat. And then just up a E-flat triad. And then this line, okay, the second 2-5 right there at the last bar of the first stanza. Right, so we start on the third of F minor 7, down to the 5th, and do this. That's really an enclosure. This is a kind of enclosure. And then we do this big chromatic run. It's literally 3 beats of a chromatic run going down. So then we, once we get to that E-flat 7, okay, what happens there? So in the second stanza there, the first bar, that E-flat 7, down chromatically to the 7th, and then up what is effectively a B-flat minor 9 chord, which is an interesting thing to observe, right? And then it does this enclosure with our target being B-flat, right? A half step above it, and then down to that G. It could be actually A natural. It's hard to hear. It's kind of ghosted, that lower note, but there's something going on there. And then from there, we do another run-through enclosure in A-flat. So A-flat is our target, and we start, again, just like the first bar. In beats 3 and 4, it's the same thing, just in A-flat. Right? And then we go up this A diminished. Right? This is all part of an A diminished scale. C, E-flat, F, and then a little chromatic note. F sharp, and then we're at E flat over B flat, back to the 1. This is another form of a run-through enclosure, this triplet here. It's that, right? Our target is that A flat on beat 3. So we run through it, but with the triplet chromatically. And then just down that little bit of language. So again, sounds like this. I need to work on this. Let's work on it together. Let's start super slow. Now that we've broken it down, we kind of understand where all of this comes from. Let's try it again. Very, very slowly. We're going to still try to swing it again with, just before we get going, just to kind of like give you a general idea of maybe how to phrase this. You might think about just accenting the tops of the lines. Because, you know, as we were kind of going through that and we went through to that second stanza. if you accent the top of the lines, you tend to get these meta rhythms. Da boo doo ba doo ga boo ba da boo doo 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 ba da ba da boo da boo doo ba da. Those kind of meta rhythms just kind of pop out. So maybe think about that, but see if we can match each other. Let's try it. 1, 2, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, and. Play with me. Again, 2, 3, and. Again, 3 and. Let's practice. Woo. All right, I finally kind of have it. We're just gonna, well, what I'd like to do is just start this slow and just gradually bump up the tempo. This is played very, very fast. I can't play it that fast yet, but let's keep going. Right here, 1, 2, 3, and. Again, 2, 3, and. Play with me. Again, 1, 2, 3, and. Why we practice. If you don't have it yet, that's why we're gonna put it through the repetition. Let's try it again. 2, 3, and. Two, three, again. Man, that last line, that's so super hip. Actually, the entire thing is so super hip. Let's try it again. We're going to bump it up. Just keep bumping it up. 1, 2, play with me. 1, 2, 3, and. Again, 2, 3, and. Little by little, 2, 3, and. Again, 2, 3, and. Getting easier. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Now it is getting easier. This is why we practice, folks. Just take a minute. Just stretch it out. Put your arms up to the sky. Shake it off. We're just getting going. Maybe roll your shoulders. We're going to get this up to speed a little bit. It's just going to take a little bit of work. Let's not play real quick. Just step away from your instrument. Get everything just at the vocal level. Let's try it. Just see if we can sing the general shape. 1, 2, 3. Let's play. 1, 2, 3, and. Again, 2, 3, and. Again. All right, we're going to keep going up. Just take a second here. If you find these GPSs, these guided practice sessions, helpful, why don't you give us a like? It's right there. Just give us a little like. It helps get these seen in front of more people. We've only got like 20-something likes. Give us a like. Let us know that these are useful. Here we go. 70 beats per minute. 71 beats per minute. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Woo. 2, 3, again. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, again. Fudge that a little bit. Up and up and up. Here we go. Shake it off. You got it. You got it. We're practicing today. Let's get to it. 2, 1, 2, 3, and. About 80%. Again. Here it is. This is where, when you're practicing something and that tempo flips, I only raised it by like 3 beats per minute and I've lost it mentally. So I'm just going to take some time. Here's a cool tip. When that happens, I just raised it I think I raised it 4 beats per minute. I'm going to take it back 2. It's right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Again, 3, and. I've lost it somewhere around here. Which, actually, this is great that this is happening. So this happens sometimes. I just played it perfectly, I don't know, 25 times in a row at slow tempos while we were creeping it up. And then the last 5 to 10 times, I haven't been able to play that second stanza clean. I've just completely lost the flow. This happens, right? I put it in my short-term memory here at first, and now I'm starting to forget. I'm starting to think about other things, maybe my bass line, how I want to phrase it, and I've lost the actual shape. So I've peaked out. I'm going to go back down again. 68. I peaked out at 77. Let's see. But here's the key. We're going to go down. I'm going to get it back, and then we're going to go back up past where I peaked. This is a very lifelike scenario. 1, 2, 3, and. That was perfect. See what I'm saying? Let's try it again. I'm going to just creep it up here. 71, 2, 3, and. There's some point that was around like 74, 75, which is where we are now, 74, that I was getting too fast for my brains, my little brains, and now we got to creep it back up. 1, 2, 3, and. Now I have it. Now I know I'm going to be able to fly past 77. Here's 77. This is where I couldn't get it. So we knocked it back down from 77 to 68, and now we're creeping back up. It's going to be a breeze. 2, 1, 2, 3, and. That's how it's done. It's too easy, folks. Let's go up to 81. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Again, 3, and. Oh, you know what I'm saying? 85, 86. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. By going back down, when I got stuck at 77 and I couldn't do it, by going back down, just 11 clicks, I think is what I went back down. 9 clicks is what I went back down. I just reinforced and relearned some of the stuff that I had learned in the beginning of the session and then forgot and then had to come back to. It's what happens. 91, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Oh, it's so good. 94, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. We're 94. Let's stay here for a minute. Stay here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. 2, 3 again. We're going up 10 clicks now with this one. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. 2, 3, 4. It's locked in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. 3 again. 3 and. Let's do this amazing Bud Powell lick one more time, and then we'll break it down one more time. What's going on? But let's just play it once more from the top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. I gotta do it again. I didn't play it. You can't mess up the last note. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Sad. Let's do again. 2, 1, 2, 3, and. There we go. All right. Isn't that cool? I love this lick so much. So let's break down what's happening here. I'm going to move it around just because I can. Again, if you missed it from the beginning, this is Bud Powell's first A section from his first chorus from his tune Whale, which is an E-flat rhythm changes. That's the chord changes to Gershwin's I Got Rhythm, which is usually in the key of B-flat, but Whale is in E-flat. It's a contrafact, meaning that it's a tune written upon the structure of another tune. Yeah, and so this is the first A section, just 8-bar phrase. It's a brilliant way to start a solo. So what's happening here? Well, he starts in our first bar. That third and fourth beat, that's an enclosure that's called a run-through. At least that's what I call it. By the way, we have a brand new course, Bebop Enclosures for Beginners, which covers a lot of what is in this lick with various etudes and all 12 keys. You can check out the link here in the chat or the description to save $30 today. Just a coincidence? I don't know. And give us a like and subscribe if you like the content here at Open Studio. We're working hard trying to make stuff that you like, so let us know what you like. It helps us make better stuff for you. Okay, so this first bar, we have this run-through enclosure. Our target is E-flat. We start on the diatonic tone above it. Right, the pickup there, I'm not even counting because it's kind of hard to hear in the recording. It could be a couple of things, but really we're going to start there on beats 3 and 4. Our scale that we're going to use is E-flat major or C Phrygian. We do our run-through enclosure, a diatonic tone above, then the target, then below, then the target. And then check it out, a broken B-flat augmented triad. Right, where we have the third, the root, the sharp 5, and the third again. And then we just have landing on E-flat, on the E-flat chord. And then a broken E-flat triad over the C minor. It's just super cool. By the way, this is a very common piece of language right here. You hear that all over the place. So that's the third of F. And this is actually a kind of enclosure. The third, the fifth, and then up chromatically. Right? And then here on the B-flat 7, we start on the 13 of B-flat 7, and then we do a very long chromatic run that actually goes over the bar line into that E-flat. And then once we hit the D-flat, which is the 7th of E-flat dominant 7, we go up this. What you could really consider this to be a B-flat minor 9 arpeggio. Right, the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th of a B-flat minor 7, which, by the way, is the 2 of the 5 of E-flat 7. So it's like he's playing a 2-5 to A-flat here, right? B-flat minor 7, E-flat 7, A-flat 7. Even though in the accompaniment it's like a... But he's kind of superimposing this like this B-flat minor 7 to E-flat 7 over that sort of ice cream cone changes there. So once we go up the B-flat minor 9, we do this chromatic enclosure with our target being B-flat. Right? And that's over the A-flat major 7, so that's the 9 of A-flat major 7. And then we do another run-through enclosure, just like bar 1. Right? Our target is A-flat. We run through from the diatonic tone above, through the target, below, and then through the target. This is such a common enclosure. and especially used with the way that Bud plays it. Actually, both times here is a very common way. You see, he completes the triad, right? Look at how Bud completes this enclosure. So he runs through the root, and then he just goes up the triad of the chord we're on. E flat, right? Or A flat, which happens to go great with an A diminished 7, which is great because that's what we have here. That is another piece of language you hear just all over the place. You could do it over any chord with any mode. It doesn't really matter. It's just a great shape. Then a little chromatic thing. And then we have another run-through enclosure. Well, how is that the same? This is actually very, very similar. We start from below. Our target is A flat there on the third beat. We start from the diatonic tone below it, G. We run through it and then surround it. So if we did it the opposite way, then we add the triplet, so we make it fully chromatic. You could do it the other way. Also, a very common piece of bebop language. Hear it all over the place. So that's what happens there in that last bar. And then again, just down. A little piece of chord language there to outline the end of the changes. That's just super hip. It's super cool. And thank you for working on it with me. I needed to work on it. I hope everybody that got in the fender bender right, literally, I could see it all happening as we were doing this. It's always great to go live. That's our life now, is pretty much live in these little boxes on our screens in front of each other. You never know what's going to happen. And yeah, I hope everybody's okay out there. I'm sure they're watching. Maybe that's what caused the accident, is they were tuning into our GPS and they got into a little fender bender. Certainly possible. Anyway, check out the brand new course, Bebop Enclosure for Beginners. Today, our YouTube folks can save $30. We have the link here in the chat and the description. It's been super popular. Thank you, everybody, for the feedback on the course. I'm going to be back here on Friday doing a Brad Meldau lick. So come check us out. If you're watching this live, you should join us. Tonight, Peter Martin and I are going to be listening to some very calming music in preparation for what's destined to be a very chaotic evening politically. So we're just gonna listen to tunes that make us feel great. So I'm gonna hit the chat up here just now and make sure that we have all the questions. Just seeing all this here. Oh, thank you, Amy. What's up, Nick? I don't know what's fruity bass. I don't know what that is. Alex, Pick and Stone. No, we're not listening to Bud. Well, maybe we'll listen to some Bud Powell. We're just going to pick some calming tunes. What's up, Max from Italy? Yeah, the lick sessions are fun because we can just literally choose any little piece of microscopic language and just practice it in any way we can. And this is how you can work on transcribing. A lot of people think that like transcribing means, well, I have to, work for weeks and weeks on a whole solo or whatever. I mean, I transcribed this whole solo a long, long time ago, but I didn't do it in weeks and weeks. I took my time with it. And then I just refreshed myself this afternoon before I went on with this, just to kind of, because I know this lick so well, and I just wanted to practice it. I haven't worked on it in so long. And it's how you can work on any bit of language. It's really cool. Doug, you're right. It sounds better the faster you play it. Yeah, it was actually super hard to play it slow. Upright Mark would be so tough with this. We'll have to have Bob DeBoo do something with it. Oh, thank you, Wonder6789. So nice, so nice. Alex says, could you exaggerate the dynamics of the line, make the quiet really quiet and the loud really loud? Helps with the punctuation. So I'll just do a brief exaggeration. hard with software instrument. I feel like if I had a real hammer hitting a real string, Alex, I could do better for you. But it's as good as I'm going to do with this software. I think, first of all, listen to this. This is Whale. It's one of his most famous recordings. Bud Powell. His solo starts about I think 90 seconds in or so. Listen to Bud play it. I mean, that's where you're going to get out of the notes here and just listen to the spirit of how Bud Powell plays this music. So. Oh, yeah. Gordon says time for Ted Drews and chill. You know it, man. Don't practice while driving. Agreed. Great fun, everybody. Great stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, Anne. Thanks, Vladimir. Lucas. Thanks very much, guys. Again, hit the like and subscribe. Check out the new course, Bebop and Closers for Beginners. Check out our session tonight. We're just going to be listening to some soothing music to soothe our souls. Amy has a really, really good question. Do you just absorb and absorb and absorb and eventually somehow magically, naturally start finding these patterns popping up in your fingers? Please. That's somewhat what could happen. Yes, that, using other people's language is a great way to develop your own language. You just learn how they turn these things, Amy. And some of this hopefully sticks in to where it comes out. Now, if you like anything here, I would go microscopic with it. Like if you like, say, this thing, even those first 8 notes, right? Just take that and work that through in every tune you know. If it's like, time after time, whatever tune. See if you can work that like into the tune that you're playing. So thank you, Sorcha. Yeah, whale, W-A-I-L, like a whale, like a ah. Cool. Thanks, Sergio. Thank you, everybody. Super fun, as always. Great crowd today. I'll be back on Friday. Come join us and listen tonight. Happy practicing, y'all. Thank you. Later.